Hey guys, Nuan here with Movie Slinger Reviews. Now, I've been a huge Spider-Man fan ever since I was a teenager. I remember being so hyped for the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies back in the day. I've even played some of the video games. I got Spider-Man 2 on the original PlayStation and the new Spider-Man game on PS4. Now, this one actually has one of the best Spider-Man stories ever, so please go check that out. So ever since I played this one, I've been really excited to watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So let's talk about that movie. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is an origin story about Miles Morales. He's a teenager and like many kids his age, he loves the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He even argues with his dad who doesn't approve of Spider-Man's vigilante activities. He also has other teenage problems like fitting in at the new school, talking to the cute girl he met in class, or following his passion for art while worrying whether his father will approve of that. So he's talking about all these problems with his uncle Aaron when he gets bitten by a super spider and he starts developing superpowers. While all this is going on, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, has created this super collider device which can access parallel dimensions. When the device is powered on, a bunch of Spider-Man characters in other universes are brought into the Miles Morales one. And now, Miles has to team up with them, learn to work together, and figure out how to control his new powers, and stop Fisk from powering on the machine for a second time. Because if he does, it could destroy a big chunk of New York. I was always a Peter Parker fan, but now I'm a Miles Morales fan. I wasn't very familiar with the character, but it was a good choice to use him because we've seen the Peter Parker origin story way too many times. Miles' story felt fresh. There are similarities to Peter Parker, the way he reacts when he first gets his powers, and how somebody close to him might die. The movie is very self-aware and kinda pokes fun at the origin story. When the different Spider characters are introduced, they all do some variation of "I'm Spider-Man, I was bitten by a radioactive spider and somebody died." It's always some variation of that and it's really funny. Shamik Moore does the voice acting for Miles. He does a good job. Miles is likable and very relatable. I love how this character arc is built around his father, Jefferson Davis, Uncle Aaron, and also the Peter Parker from another dimension. It's an interesting relationship because Miles has always looked up to Spider-Man, and now he's finally hanging out with him, but he's not the perfect Spider-Man he expected to find. And this creates drama as well as comedy. Jake Johnson plays Peter Parker. He's older and wiser, but also kind of tired of the superhero thing. Very jaded and lazy. He's not in good physical shape and he doesn't even want to hang out with Miles. There's a lot of things that have gone bad for him in his universe, and that's why he's like that. I love this character and the filmmakers showed a side of him we haven't seen before. Peter becomes a reluctant mentor to Miles, and some of the best moments in the movie are when he's teaching Miles how to control his powers. And Miles has some new and unique abilities that were a total surprise to Peter, and to be perfectly honest, a total surprise to me as well. Haley Steinfeld plays Gwen Stacy. She was really fun. I liked seeing her as Spider-Woman. She has great chemistry with Miles, and the scene where she gets her hair cut was one of the funniest and cutest scenes in this movie. Now, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking about the supporting characters, but I have to mention Nick Cage as Spider-Man Noir. He's in black and white, and he doesn't understand the concept of color in the Miles Morales universe, and he finds this Rubik's Cube. Black and white Nick Cage contemplating the concept of color. It was perfect. There's also Penny Parker, a Japanese anime-inspired version which comes with a robot, and Spider-Ham, which is sort of a Looney Tunes, Porky Pig type thing. When these characters are on screen, it is comedy gold. They all bring their unique styles, personalities, and superpowers to the table. Spider-Ham has a giant cartoony mallet. What more could you ask for? As for the animation, if you've ever wondered what it must be like to see a comic book come to life, well, this is it. They used a combination of CGI and various old-school, hand-drawn comic book techniques to make this one of the most visually stunning animated movies ever. And different characters bring their own flavor too. The majority of the movie looks like the Miles Morales comic books, but when Spider-Man Noir or Spider-Ham is on screen, their animations stay true to their source materials. The team at Sony Animation has done a a great job, and it's definitely the most unique visual style I've seen since the Lego movie. The animation really shines during the jaw-dropping action sequences, and it's used very effectively for slapstick-style visual humor that's present throughout. If there's one negative I can think of, it's definitely the villains. There's a lot of colorful new versions of classic villains, but they're all underdeveloped. I like Wilson Fisk's motivation for using the Super Collider, but I'm pretty sure if I didn't watch the Netflix Daredevil series, I wouldn't have cared at all. The movie required me to know what Fisk cared about, and only gave the bare minimum of reasons to explain why. There's also the Kingpin's henchman, the Prowler. I do like how he plays into Miles' story, but I didn't care about this character at all. Oh yeah, and there's one more tiny negative. Now this is not a deal breaker, but the pop songs in the soundtrack were really lame. Everything except St. Elmo's Fire felt out of place, and it was so bad I started wishing for Nickelback. Conclusion. The movie, like I said before, is very self-aware. The filmmakers had a lot of fun using pop culture, comic books, and there's even a ton of references to other Spider-Man movies, video games, and even merchandise. But it's not all just fun and laughs, it's a very emotional journey for Miles. The filmmakers did a great job introducing this character, and watching Miles' relationship develop with his father and Peter Parker were truly the best moments of this movie. Some of my favorite scenes in the Sam Raimi movies is when Peter Parker is doubting himself, and then someone, maybe Uncle Ben or Aunt May, gives him just the right nudge to inspire him. And in this movie, Miles Morales had those moments, and it was really heartwarming to see. The supporting spider characters play into this story in really fun ways. The villains were a little disappointing, but I was having so much fun I didn't really mind. The voice actors did a great job, but the real heroes of this movie are the writers Phil Lord and Rodney Rothman and the entire team of animators at Sony. This is the best Spider-Man movie since Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. And that's saying something because there have been 4 movies since 2004. Spider-Man has been rebooted twice, and this little animated comedy is better than all of those. So if you're a Spider-Man fan, then it's a no-brainer. You have to watch Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse in theaters right now. It's one of the best superhero movies of 2018 and one of the best Spider-Man movies ever. So there you have it. Have you watched Into the Spider-Verse? What did you think about it, and what was your favorite Easter egg? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Movie Slinger out.